Started on that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we didn't even know. We shot 3 episodes, and then there was a writer's strike in Hollywood, and we didn't even know if we were coming back for sure. I mean, I remember during that strike going, I hope we come back.
Wow.
And we, you know, people were like, you're definitely coming back at Dallenwall with HBO, but we kind of weren't sure.
Really?
So we had, so it was good that we came back. I mean,
Well, you said that the first year at Comic-Con was like you guys sitting around
oh
going,
yeah.
hey
So
guys.
did you? Because you weren't there, right?
No, not till like third year.
Yeah. So our first year at Comic-Con, you all know is like the biggest convention. It's so insane. But the first year we were there, I don't think it had aired yet, and so we were kind of like selling the show, like passing out flyers, like, hey, and nobody was Anna was the only person who'd ever done anything of note at that point. And then it's just changed so much, you know. Now it's, you know, we have security and stuff.
Oh yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
So it's pretty cool.
What do you think, Mariana?
Well.
Hi, back in the room over here. Hi, yeah. Couple things. Number one, great work on the show. It's a shame they killed you off, but you know.
Thank you. But no one's ever really dead on True Blood.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure there'll be plenty of flashback segments.
Live in
Presenting,
spirit.
if season 5 is in like 4, it'll be a lot of flashback segments, etc.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah, right. Is there plans for a movie?
In my mind.
I mean, I've never read the script.
Do you have plans in your mind? I think.
Any talk around the set?
I hear nothing. I mean, I never know anything.
We don't know anything.
No.
I don't think there is, but it's funny that you asked that because there was a rumor of a movie about a year ago. Yeah, there was a rumor of a movie that was going around on the internet. Did anybody see that?
No.
No? Maybe there was. God, maybe I'm the crazy one. I don't know.
Never mind.
Yeah. No, but I think there was, because I remember Todd saying something about
Todd,
that.
he started a rumor.
Maybe Todd
It was
started-
probably Todd.
And it's going to be a musical, right?
Todd who plays Terry.
Oh my God.
True Blood on Ice.
Hey, but wait a minute. Okay, seriously, you have to go on YouTube if you haven't. They did a sitcom of in Merlot, and they edited together scenes from people in Merlot and put a laugh track to it. It's unbelievable.
That's really
and it's
funny.
a lot of Terry and Arlene. And Nelson's in it, I'm in it, and it's just our own conversations, but then there's a laugh track. Like, I mean, it's kind
What's
of
it called?
genius.
Like, what do you search
I think
for?
you put in sitcom and True Blood.
Okay.
Well, there's an adult film.
Oh
Yeah.
Everyone knew that one.
There might be more than one, but we did pull up one on set one day.
Oh yeah.
Because I haven't actually.
Well,
I haven't turned it on. I haven't seen it
I
myself.
don't remember if we saw like the actual parts of the movie. I don't think we did. I think they just pulled up promo. Steven pulled out his laptop and was bringing it out. It was pretty.
Was it?
It was pretty awesome.
Did you see the person who plays you?
I don't know that Lorena made it into the movie. It was kind of just season 1 specific. So the person who played Eric had the bad Eric wig. And, yeah, it was pretty good.
Wow.
The girls were semi-attractive though. I think that's what we were all shocked by. Yeah.
Did all the guys have mustaches? They look just like Eric and Vogue. They had a
Porn
mustache.
stashes, yeah.
So I wanted to know, how is it to have such witty lines? You guys get some of the most clever lines on TV. Pam.
I mean, I have nothing to do with that. I get the script. I flip through looking for Pam.
She doesn't read the rest of the script.
Blah, 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 blah.
I hear it as a table read. I watch the show.
I was just joking, but I guess.
Bullshit, my line.
It's exciting. Just go to the table read.
It
if
is exciting.
I haven't read it. Yeah, and I see those lines, and I think, oh my God, that's one of those, you know, and it's pretty fun. And then I say them, you know, 100 takes on the day. So, and nobody on the set.
What do you mean? You do a bunch of takes just doing the line?
Well, you know, just shooting from every angle. I mean, we shoot, right?
Just like usual.
Right, just like usual. I mean,
It takes her 100 takes.
Get it right. Oh no, I just
feel that. Sam and I get it too, but.
Yeah, Sam, did you
Okay.
see that? It takes you 100 takes. But the rest of the cast isn't, you know, enamored. We aren't enamored with each other anymore. So we're just doing the scene, and each person is worried about their own area. So nobody goes, whoa, Kristen, you're really on fire today. It's sort of like, you know, at the end of the take, how much time do I have? I'm going to go to Crafty. I mean, it's, you know, we're there for 17 hours. So I never really feel like I'm doing the line justice on the day.
You don't have immediate satisfaction.
Right.
Like if you were doing a play where
There's
people
no,
like,
totally. And
Right.
Alex isn't like sitting there, what's Kristen going to do today? You know, he's pretty used to me. So it really, and then 7 months later, the show starts airing. And of course, we're in our living rooms watching it while you guys are in yours. And then a few months later, we come to a show, and everyone goes, can you write fuck Sookie? You know, can you write me fucking kill? And I'm like, okay, did all right on that one. Okay. Sundress. Okay.
Cash in the sundress.
Gash in the sundress. Wow.
I have a question for all three of you, actually. To date, what would be your favorite or most memorable scene to make in the show?
good question.
Like good memorable or bad?
Yeah, I know. There are both.
Painful
Good memorable and bad memorable.
I mean, your
Totally.
scene, your death scene, wasn't that like memorable because it was hard?
Right. My death scene was actually particularly painful.
Wow, how about her death scene?
It was pretty amazing. Like that's the whole scene.
Much talked about.
Yeah. Well, then the neck break thing was more tough, but that was memorable too.
That's memorable. Stephen having sex with the puppet.
Stephen having sex with my puppet.
Will you
Yeah.
watch?
Wait a minute. What about
Poor
the
puppet.
scene with you guys, the flashback where you killed those two people?
The 20s flashback.
Oh my God!
That was intense, too.
That was like, I was watching that, I was like, that show's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, yeah.
What's
nobody
funny
does
about that? But yeah, that
That was a cruel and unusual
It was
scene.
cruel and unusual, and when we were shooting the part with the girl, the poor girl, she was so sweet, gets her neck ripped out. You know, she was hooked up, you know, she had the whole like prosthetic apparatus thing. There was literally like a little tube coming up so the blood could be squirting out, and we only had one go at it. And thank God it was Stephen doing it, because I would have been so freaked out to mess up the take and not get it right, because he had to like bite down on the exact thing that could be bitten down on without catching any of her skin. Because he had to bite down and rip it out really hard, and then, you know, all the stringy stuff would come out, and it was like squirting blood. And I was thinking, thank God that's not me and that's him, because he was so like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do, you know.
He's English.
Yeah, he's English. So the camera's pointed at him, but I'm, you know, doing my stuff just to be there for his eye line. And I think, you know, when it cuts to me, I'm going like, yeah, or something. But in reality, I was like, oh my God! I was really grossed out. It looked so real. It was nasty.
But always in those scenes for me, like, if you look right at what's happening, it's gross. But then if you look 3 feet to the left, it's like a construction worker in flannel, like pumping the blood.
The guy pumping the blood. Yeah.
In construction boots.
In construction boots.
You're like that. Oh, that's kind of funny. Oh, that's gross.
See the man
I know
behind the curtain.
what's I'm wondering if you remember the most memorable scene we did together, and why
Oh,
it's most
your
memorable.
80s jumpsuit.
You can't get over it.
Sam visited Fantasia like once in season 2.
And he's still talking about my red
And
sequin.
Pam had on this red sequin, like 1980s jumpsuit. Somehow,
He was
Sam,
so mesmerized.
myself, was kind of mesmerized by it. And I have to say,
In the scene, I looked at him and he was like,
because Alex was kind of laying like really cool, being like, well, hey, what are
yeah.
you doing? And I kept looking past him to see, you know, you being like, with this red sequin I was kind of, you know, taken by
We totally weren't. At a certain
Taken by
point, I was
the
like, Sam,
red
what's happening?
sequin jumpsuit.
He was like, your outfit. And then 2 years later at a panel, they said, what's the most, like, it was a similar question.
Did I say that?
And you went, that red sequin jumpsuit. It was exceptional.
It was
It was
exceptional.
confusing and
I
exceptional.
didn't remember that.
What about you? Did you?
No, I didn't. What, yeah, what?
Your most memorable scene?
Memorable for different reasons, like, because a lot of the face stuff this year for me was very
So
memorable.
cool.
That made a big impression on me because it was intense, you know, and very intense to go through the process, and very long, and very challenging, and very fun.
Because you have to sit in makeup for like
5 hours.
5 hours?
5 hours.
Are you kidding?
And then you go to work.
Seriously, 5
Yeah.
hours?
And one night, there was a scene in the script, and it was Alex and I in Steven's lockup. And it was I thought it was a great scene, an emotional scene, and an important scene. And it starts out really funny where Alex goes, there's a death in here, and you hear from the corner, that's me. And I'm like shrouded in just in this pile, this cousin It, like in the sheet. And, but it's a very important scene. So 5 hours, and I started work at like in the afternoon. So now it's like 11 o'clock at night. And then I sit in my trailer for 3 hours. And I was not prepared to sit in a box in that makeup that feels like it's
So uncomfortable.
so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then I have a lens in where I can't see out of one eye, so
Mhm.
it totally destroys your depth perception. So you're reaching for your glass, you know, and then they said, you know, I was in the scene with Alex, and they go, get closer to him, and I had to like, okay, good, because I was like, Aaron, you and I have been together, like, cut, Kristen needs over here. You know, so it's like bizarre, because what I'm going through is very weird, and I've got to do this scene, and I've been there for 9 hours now, and Alex is like, I want to go home, and and so I really had to have a good talking to myself, like, come on, soldier,
Yeah.
fuck up,
That's awesome.
you know, this is your moment, and I'm like, but I'm tired, get in there, you know, yeah, my face is itchy.
Yeah, it itches, doesn't it?
It itches.
Something terrible.
So intensely, and in that 3 hours alone in my trailer, the itching became very apparent. So that was pretty memorable. And then, you know, when I watch it 6 months later, I thought it was good. Like, I thought I did good.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, good, good.
As a fellow actor, I have to ask, when you went to audition for the Duke's roles and you found out it was based on a book and you're talking to your agent, did you go ahead and read the books? Have you read the books already? Because when I get something and I'm like, okay, it's based off of comics, based off of this, I immediately go and I research the crap out of it. Did you guys have to do that for this, or did you just kind of go in and just wing it for the
Who
audition?
wants to go first?
You do.
I'm trying to think up my answer. No, I didn't read the book until after I'd gotten the part, but I auditioned before it had started airing, so I kind of didn't know. The only thing I knew was that it was Alan Ball's new HBO show that was kind of about vampires.
Oh, so you auditioned for the show before
Yeah,
it started
before
airing?
it started airing.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was in episode 5, so it's right after you'd gotten picked up from the writer's strike, after writer's strike.
Oh, wow, okay, right.
Yeah. So so I didn't know it was based on books. I guess I didn't do that much homework. I just, I didn't get a full script either. I was just given the scenes that you could audition with. But in my situation, Lorraine's not really in the books very much. I mean, she's sort of mentioned, and she plays a big part of the third book, but she really only has like 2 scenes, and she kind of just says something nasty to Sookie, and then that's it. So they really took, thankfully, they took some liberties and really sort of fleshed out her character, so I didn't have to, you know, I wasn't bound to what the book said at all.
Yeah, mine was similar, and it hadn't aired, and I don't think they told me it was based on books.
Yeah, they didn't say that, yeah. So my brother actually was the one who told me. They're based on
Really?
books, you know that?
They told
I didn't
me.
know that.
Oh, see? You have better people. They're like, you gotta be over there at noon. What for? I don't know. You're a vampire or something.
Wear red sequins.
And I didn't get a full script. Yeah. You're gonna wear red sequins if you get it. So it was, and it really wasn't even full scenes. It was like sarcastic lines. So I didn't, right?
That's what you got to audition?
Yeah, it was like kind of 3 different scenes that were like a paragraph long, and it was sort of just Pam being sarcastic. And so I just went in and did that, and then, but I'm a bit of a winger.
Right.
I don't think I usually don't get better the longer that I think about it. So I try to remember my first impulse and go with that, for better or worse. It does not always work. But I always feel like, especially working with Dennis O'Hare, he does so much background and work on the character, and I was just like, oh, God, I don't know, I feel like a lazy actor or something, but...
Yeah, I think with auditions is different.
Auditions is
Because when I
different.
get a part, I'll do all the research and all the background and everything. But before, auditions are a different animal. It's a totally different animal.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, yeah, you're right, like I can overthink things and do too much work instead of just going in and being present and
Right,
being
you gotta
honest.
do your thing.
You gotta do your thing.
Because then you start trying to guess what they might want,
Yeah, and
trying
then-
to cover too many bases.
And then you get yourself into trouble. But
You know, kind of water down your performance when you kind of just gotta, I think, go for it, and then you risk them going, neat, but not what we're looking for. But at least you did something that they remember, because a lot of people go in.
just giving them what they think they want to see, yeah.
I didn't read the book. I read the books after. I read the first 4 books after I got the part. But yeah, once I got the part, I had a meeting with Alan Ball, and he had like 2.5 scripts written, and he literally gave me 2.5 scripts. So I read those, and I knew the books were out there, and so I got psyched, like you were saying. I got really excited about it. I'm like, I'm gonna read these books. You know, and I also just wanted to make sure, like, Sam wasn't a transvestite or something. Like, you know, some clues of something that I'd have to know about how to play the character. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
transvestite, yeah.
Maybe book 5 is. I don't know. Yeah. No, I think cute in the red sequin thing. Well, let's stop that. How it works.
What?
So I have like a 2-part question, because one part's for my mom. She wants to know if you guys have rules against like sun tanning while during season filming.
That doesn't apply to Sam.
It doesn't. To the vampires, probably.
I actually have been a vampire in real life before I ever was cast as one. I literally live just smeared with sunscreen all the time. I wear big, awful-looking hats to cover myself all the time. It's always sunny in Los Angeles. So I've always shielded myself. I don't like the sun. I like dreary, drizzly, depressing weather like this. I went to college in Seattle. I'm a Washington girl. I love it. Give it to me. The suicidal weather, that's what I like. So I guess I always make the joke that they cast me thinking that they could save money on makeup, because they didn't really lighten me. They just didn't put blush on me. That's all they did.
Mine's similar.
Yeah.
Mine's similar, and Alex can get, he's just somebody who
Alex
can
would
get
get in trouble.
color.
I would see him come in
Yeah.
sometimes after a weekend at the beach, and he'd try to talk. He's like, "No, I didn't go to the beach." And he's like, "Pink."
Yeah, I can freckle and peel.
I freckle and break.
Yeah, it's not good. So, but you've been really good. You have the most beautiful skin.
Thank you.
Doesn't she? Amazing.
And then also, since my birthday's coming up, can I come sit with you guys?
We're going to hear a lot of, and all of a sudden, and it's
My birthday too.
Yes. You can sit with us. Come on.
I think
Come on. I do know it's a lot of your birthdays, though, because I've been writing
I was going to say.
You may have to take some questions, though, if you're up for it.
Kristen, I want to ask you, this past season, we saw a side of Pam that we hadn't seen before. You know, she's always been a very sarcastic, bitchy kind of character, and we saw a side of her we hadn't seen before. And it kind of, at least to me, made me think that there might be something more to the Pam and Eric relationship. Is that something that you can shed some light on?
I can't shed any real light as far as what the producers or writers are thinking or doing, but I think we're going to find that out in season 5. And I have had something in my head working based on very little information. One was I had done some, for the Blu-ray DVD, some stuff as Pam, some dialogue that they wrote. And I said, when I met Eric, my world split apart, and so did my leg. So I had that. And then I had, I'm not a hooker, that was a long, long time ago. So I had that. So I'm like, okay, so I was maybe a hooker, and it came, I mean, you know, and then we've been together over 100 years. So those are my little snippets. So Alex and I have been asking for 4 years, the producers, what is their deal? And then this year, I said to Alex, well, I assumed that they were lovers, and, you know, the first 40 years were hot. You know, things cool down.
Like things do.
Yeah, like
After
things
40
do,
years.
right? After 40, I mean, right? How do you, and she's clearly at least bi. And so, but then Alex was like, really? That's what you've been thinking? I go, well, what have you been thinking? Because there's also such a father-daughter relationship. But I kind of figure if you've been together with someone a couple 100 years, you know, it morphs. But we're going to find out, and I can't wait to find out. And I just keep picturing, like, cool Victorian clothes. I just keep picturing clothing.
Flashback clothing is pretty
Right?
awesome.
It's, you know, I mean, you got to do that. I think that's so fun.
So
The
fun.
period piece stuff is so fun.
Yeah.
So something about Victorian hooker.
You like it, don't you?
And I
You like
speak
it.
Swedish. And have a southern accent. So all of that is like, wow.
Yeah, I love the southern accent no matter what. Like even
Right?
Yeah, I remember after I got the part, I went, or no, not after I got the part. After I found out they were going to bring me in to be a series regular, and I immediately was like trying to call the producers, like, well, what is her voice? Is she southern? Was that just the put on for the Civil War? Like what? And they all kind of went, oh, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know?
Sometimes you have to answer your own question.
I know. Like, aren't you writing? Then I
No.
said, should I still be Southern? Because there's in the book she's kind of supposed to be Russian or something. They were like, yeah, I don't know. That was Alex Wood. And then it was like, let me ask. And then it was sort of like, yeah, I guess you're still Southern. So.
And Bucky just joked,
I
one of the
guess
other
I'm still
writers. when I
Southern.
asked. But you know, it is kind of the great thing about True Blood because they let us do our own thing.
They do. Yeah, they really do.
They really, you have a lot of room, which is so awesome.
That's one of the great things about Alan Ball. And I know you all are probably fans of his other work, but he completely just stays back and he hires really good people, and then he just lets them do their job. He doesn't, you know, micromanage, which on every level. So it's a good thing about him.
I have a question for you, Sam. I feel like in season 1, your character kind of started off as almost a pushover.
Where's Sookie? Where's Sookie?
Right?
Don't go to the vampires.
But as seasons, you've kind of become quite the badass.
Yeah.
I have become kind of
It's a good look for you.
What do you think was the impetus for this change? How did your character evolve to be who he is now? Like, I mean, what's gonna happen? I'm still like the end of the last season totally killed me. But what?
Yeah.
Did the writers like?
Yeah, you know, I think they got tired of me pining after Sookie, so then they were like, you know, you have to be a little tough with Sookie, so this next season you're gonna say fuck off to Sookie. So then that happened, and then I don't know where the whole flashback to killing those people. I'm trying to think of the genesis for that. I can't remember what that kind of. They just wanted to give me a dark past to kind of just play with that arena. And then they had me getting drunk, and I beat up the guy that you saw. But that's been, at that point, that was my favorite stuff that I'd done, because I just got to do something a little bit darker, because I'd always been such the nice guy and kind of the rational guy. And so it's fun to be a little out of control. And then Alcide and I went on this sort of Starsky and Hutch tear this year. And it's always fun to hold a gun. Oh, God, it's really fun. You know, it is fun. So I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, they're not going to I think I've gone to my really dark place, you know, telling customers to fuck off in my bar. I don't think I'll ever do that again. You know, I felt so bad having it. I don't know.
Really?
But, yeah, because it was just like, I don't know, it was just me. It was like, it just didn't feel witty enough. I don't know.
Oh.
But I don't know what's going to happen next year. Like, I really, and a lot of the writers, I don't think know. They went back into the room. At the end of season 4, they went into the room kind of not exactly knowing what they were going to do. And so it's going to be a real surprise for us.
Hi, guys. It's good to see you. My question is a little risque. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but there are various levels of nudity in the True Blood series. I know each one of you have been in... I've heard tell. I know each one of you have been in various states of undress. Is it really awkward on set when you're walking around naked, or do they give you something?
No.
You're not on set, you're in the woods.
Yeah, I'm in the woods. I'm never well lit. I'm just in the woods, like looking insignificant and small, you know.
But I heard that what's great about seeing you running around naked in the woods is the jazz shoes.
Yeah, well, you have to. Yeah, there was one. I don't know if you all remember season 1 when I ran where Terry and Andy Belfer saw me running naked. I had to wear, because there were ants all over the place. It was in Louisiana, and snakes and spiders. They put me in these shoes. But they had to be kind of flesh colored, and they were these like jazz tap dance, like soft shoe. I've never danced jazz, but soft shoe jazz shoes. So that was the worst look I've ever had. The sort of beige socks with the beige jazz shoes. That was terrible. Horrible. Oh, that was embarrassing. But other than that, have you all got totally naked?
No.
Have you shown boob or anything? What?
No.
Are you serious? And you never did either?
And I was a little insulted by the end of it, but I've never been asked.
Oh my God. You guys have to get naked now. I'm going to talk about
it. Is it awesome?
You guys want Pam naked?
Go run.
You want Mariana to come back and be naked?
You love it?
Being naked?
Yeah.
No, because then I have to starve myself, so I don't, you know. My biggest, I'm not kidding you, my biggest nightmare was learning that I had to be naked in the same scene, in the same frame with Ryan Kwan, who has like the most insane body, you know, him and Joe. It's off the hook, it's crazy. So I knew I was going to pale in comparison to him.
And we have to be pale. At least you can get a spray tan.
Yeah, you have to be pale. Yeah, it is always weird doing those type of scenes. I mean, I don't know why. They never had me take my clothes off. I think because my sex scenes are so disturbing anyway that they naked would just be way too far. But I think on that show, like on other shows you do, you know, they make a big sort of song and dance about this is all closed set. Everybody's going to be gone. It's all very private and professional. And then on True Blood, it's like, take your clothes off, for God's sake. Because everybody's always naked, and it's like, drop trow. Yeah, drop trow. We got to get going.
It's weird, though. It's weird being naked. It's like 6 in the morning and having a sex scene. I had one of those with Regina, and I walked into the set in my robe. I somehow had forgotten that it was a sex scene. I don't know why. And then all of a sudden I was standing in front of Regina. They were taking my coffee going, okay, we're going to do a run-through. And I'm like, oh, wow, we're having sex. Oh, my God. I'm not even, and she was like, yeah, I know, I'm not even awake. Oh, my I really had to like get it on, you know? And I'm not even, it's like
Yeah.
not even awake.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
It is
Those are the
bizarre.
days on set, you're like, this is what I do for a living sometimes.
Is it weirder if you don't know the person at all, or if you're friends with them?
Friend.
I think it's weirder if you're friends. You think it's weirder if they're strangers or if they're
No,
friends?
I think if you're friends, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's almost better.
Like,
you
what
don't
if we
know,
had a sex
right?
scene?
That's just weird.
What if Sam or Live had a sex?
Totally.
That would be crazy.
Totally. Like, in between takes, like, and how's Flossie, your dog? Yeah.
That would be weird.
It's better.
How would
when
that ever happen that we would? That would be crazy.
That'd be that's the sitcom version.
Right.
Laugh track. You and I are making out laugh track. Hi, guys.
Awkward laugh.
This question is for Ms. Bauer. Hi, nice to meet you. I love the wardrobe overall in the show because you wear the most fantastical things. Do you have any choice, they give you like a choice of what you feel like wearing today? Do you get to choose?
Really, no is the main answer, but how it goes is that, Audrey Fisher, the costume designer, is so incredible that I don't feel I need input, and I just sort of email her and go, what are you thinking? Like, what am I going to wear for that? And then we have another great luxury of being on the show is you have many wardrobe fittings. You can, because we take a long time to shoot each episode, so it's a little bit more like a feature. Network TV moves very fast. So I go in and we try on different corsets and different things, and she's like, I could make you this, and here are sketches, and I go, oh, that'd be cool. I don't know. She's like this. Well, what about with those boots? Then we'll have like a jewelry fitting, and then she sends everything to Alan and the powers that be, and they pick. But
you get to weed out anything you don't want. Yeah.
You get to
There's
say
something that you don't like, you get to.
yeah, and amazing that if you don't feel comfortable, she'll, almost with Audrey, she's so great, because the second I go, she's like, no, right?
Yeah.
So it's amazing, because on other shows, they'll put you in something and you think, oh my God, hell. And they'll go, I like it. Yeah. And you think,
Oh, I think it's great. Yeah, no, of course.
well, yeah, it's lime green, So, it's great. Ham wardrobe is very fun.
My wardrobe things are just like, are the jeans tight enough? Yeah, okay, fine. Nothing. Flannel? Great.
Flannel,
Okay.
flannel. Is your autumn flannel or is it your spring flannel?
All right.
My question's for all of you. I know Sam does the shape-shifting. If you could actually shape-shift into any animal or creature, which one would you do?
I'm feeling owl right now. If somebody asked me, which one would you shift into again? Owl. I'm feeling owl. I like to turn my head, I want to know who's back there.
I thought you'd pick, I want to fly. I thought you were going to I want to turn my head.
Right. I'm going the way you don't think I'm going. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm not going with the wise thing.
Right.
I'm
No,
going with the
you're
head
going
turn.
with the head turn.
Look around.
Favorite animal?
Oh, right.
Perfect answer.
It's your birthday!
And then her head spun around. What do you think? Goldfish? A shrew. I asked my husband, I go, what? If we could reincarnate into animals, who would you want to be? I'm like, I want to be an elephant. And he's this big, tall African dude, and after the longest time, he goes, I think I'd like to be a shrew.
He was serious, too. Yeah.
He's like, no, they're kind of neat little guys, and they kind of dig around. We're going to be an elephant and a shrew. How we can't be together in a play? He's saying, you don't want to be with me?
That's how you turn
Right?
out.
Women.
Right?
Women.
Right, guys?
What do you
Right.
think?
don't know.
I like horses.
I was just gonna say, I think it'd be a
Right?
horse, because I remember at about 4 years old or something, I had a fantasy of turning into a horse.
Don't be a horse in Canada.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, right?
Been there, done that.
It was good, right? All right, so I'm gonna go with horse.
You can run.
Yeah, you
Not
can.
on the plains in America, did you know?
What?
We're rounding up our wild horses, sending them to Canada and Mexico to be eaten for slaughter. And this is to clear land for mining and for beef, for pasture.
Way to bring the party down, Kristen.
I'm a lot of fun at a
You
dinner
just killed
party.
my buzz. That's awful.
Yeah, don't be a wild horse on this
Don't
continent.
be a wild horse.
Lesson.
I'm back here. I'm really sorry about this question. I'm a poor college student who can't afford $30 autographs, so do you guys mind if you sign one of my books that I have with me of the True Blood series?
Oh my God. This,
Yeah, bring it up.
no, we won't sign. Can you imagine on video?
Get out of here.
Right? How do you say, shoo, the Sam? It's very gregarious on camera. If the camera wasn't.
We'll edit that
No,
out.
I'm just kidding. Yes, we love.
Of course.
Oh, thank you guys.
Bring it up.
Yeah.
Somebody else can ask a question while it's coming up.
Any other questions?
Well, I have a question. We've seen in the past, we've seen bits and pieces of Sam's dark, secret past. Do you see in the future that we maybe will see a little bit more of what's going on in Sam's past? You know, what's been going on? Because he's clearly got a lot of dark secrets and you know, a dark past.
Yeah, you know, we probably will because there's so much of my history it could be interesting because I was on my own since I was a teenager, since I was kicked out of my house, or no, left by my parents. So yeah, I don't know if we'll explore a lot of dark stuff. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing next year. Because I think we all are. None of us know. But we'll probably do some flashbacks. We've done the really dark stuff, so I don't know if we'll do any more of me. I don't think I killed anybody else. I mean, I don't know, but I know I might have been in New Orleans. That would be fun. Yeah, New Orleans. That's where I was born. Yeah, I was. Yes, I was. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm a real Louisianian.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Beat that.
We can't. That's
I know. Where were you born?
Washington.
Oh yeah, rainy.
Yeah.
I have a question, but the first thing I want to say, for all of you that have never met these guys before, they are beautiful people. On the street and off the street.
Thank you.
Not only do they perform wonderfully, but in real life, these guys are so awesome. They are just the best people you could ever meet. These two over here do charity work for animals and for children.
Go surfing and, you know, I do stuff for the ocean. I raise money for the, save the ocean.
Yeah.
Just the ocean. It's huge.
Thank you so much.
But just saying that, because I'm going to tell you what I love about the show was once I got to meet them, they're just wonderful people. How much do you pay for that? No.
I'm going to tip her.
$5.
I want to ask, because I know there's other people that want to ask questions. This is what I've always wanted to ask people. I know all of you have partners, and all of you are madly in love with who you're with. And how is it doing a sex scene for your partner or for you? How do you feel about that later on? I mean, that's got to bring up some emotion. And I know your husband, does he ever watch them?
I haven't had to do one yet. Really, I mean, I was between Yvette's legs. Sam in there, right? But who hasn't? And but on this show, since we've been together, I haven't had to.
I have to, you know, the rule in my house is I just have to warn Missy about it. But I always forget. because, you know, I just forget, like, there was a scene that I was having sex with Ashley Jones,
Daphne.
Yeah, Daphne, on the pool table, and I remember we were naked, and I said, we're gonna be naked, but it's no big deal, you know, whatever, post-coital. And I forgot that at the beginning we were touching, and then I forgot that we kissed, and I forgot at the end that I rolled on top of her and we started having sex. I got in trouble. I just didn't warn her, but that's kind of the, you know.
You think it was the line?
The what?
The line you said?
What was the line that I said?
You said something about nice rack and good balls?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that too. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we've got time for one quick question.
I want to hear about
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right.
I'm so curious. You can tell me later.
Yeah, no, I luckily my fiance used to be an actor, so he kind of understands, he gets it, but it's just a weird part of our job sometimes. But yeah, I don't think he especially likes to watch it, and I don't think he especially likes to hear about it. So I kind of don't. I mean, I think I kind of prep him, but then I don't go into detail. But it's actually been more uncomfortable in other things I've done. True Blood, my sex scenes were so sort of ridiculous and crazy and involved blood and props and acrobatics and puppets and God knows what else. But there kind of wasn't a lot of like weird intimacy with it. It was really just kind of an athletic.
Yeah, it was easy to go, that's not real.
It really is not real. Yeah. But it is. It can be a weird thing.
On the whole show, in real life, how many people are exactly like the character they play, and who is the exact opposite of the character they play?
That's a great question.
Well, Ryan is very
Ryan is
so different.
So different. And so is Nelson. Nelson
is completely different.
So
different.
Yeah.
We're different-ish.
Oh, also Chris Bauer. Chris Bauer, who plays Andy Belfer, does a complete character. He's nothing like that character.
Yeah, no, Chris isn't like that. Anna's not like Sookie. No.
No. And
Steven
Alex
is not like Bill.
Alex is not like.
I think most of us are very opposite of who we play.
Totally.
We went through every cast member like that.
Yeah,
And Fiona. And Dennis.
Oh, and Dennis.
Right.
You know, I think everybody.
And Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie.
Carrie Preston is not like
Carrie
her.
Preston is not like that.
Now we're gonna do it. Let's not do it.
Just as we're all very complete opposite of our characters, I think.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I want to thank you for joining us today. It was a great panel.
Thank you.